Hello everybody, and welcome to Ancient Architects. Please subscribe now to get the latest ancient history news and independent research from around the world. Many of you will have seen a video from a couple of years ago on the Mystery History channel about a mysterious staircase that was apparently found on the Giza Plateau. There were even a number of pictures in the video that show this bizarre and incredible structure which looks like a thin, deep slice in the desert floor limestone bedrock. There looks to be hundreds of steps going down, but we don't get to see where it leads to, with the narrator of the video explaining it is unknown. The staircase has enormous vertical walls on either side, and it does look to be perfectly straight, like the descending corridor into the Great Pyramid. The video next says that it goes into an ocean of groundwater below, and I don't know about an ocean, but it would make sense that it runs into groundwater if it is as deep as it appears on the pictures. It has clearly been excavated, but finding any information on this structure, or even its exact location, is incredibly difficult. I've linked the video in the description below if you want to check it out. I kept searching for answers and then came across another video, this time by Antoine Gigal, a researcher into ancient Egypt, and this video seems to be the source of all the images available. I've also linked this video in the description below. Antoine Gigal shows the staircase from a number of angles and even walks all the way down to the bottom, but the video has no commentary and is really just a gallery of photos from our exploration of the site. She does show how deep the staircase goes. It's incredible how the ancient architects managed to create such vertical walls in such a narrow space. The steps look regular, but at the bottom I can only see sand and rubble. Maybe the excavations were still ongoing. I don't know. As I said, there was no further information available, and at the end, and also in the description, Gigal says that a longer video to explain it is coming soon. I couldn't see a subsequent video on her channel. I did leave a comment on the video over a year ago, but I didn't get a response, and I also reached out by email to no avail. So I kept searching the internet, and I came across a Facebook post that showed this composite image and apparently a small explanation by Gigal, stating, "The walls were smooth to the touch and seemed to have been worked. Right at the bottom, certainly 15 metres down, there was a pool of dark muddy water, with some ragged shrubs growing. It looked as if the water table had risen. Looking up, I noticed a huge block that was placed across the top of the trench, and my guide told me that the whole thing was once covered with these blocks to make a roof for the staircase." So that gives us a little more information, and the Facebook post also states that the staircase isn't at Giza, but is actually near Abu Ruwash, which of course is home to the so-called Pyramid of Djedefre. I then found another picture of the staircase that was posted on Facebook by Brian Forster, and in the comments, somebody links to a page on Gigal's website. I couldn't navigate to this page from her homepage, so I was very grateful for this link. Gigal's guide called the site a Roman well. As an experienced researcher into ancient Egypt, she said she had never seen anything like this before, and even though, admittedly, I'm more of an armchair researcher, I've never seen or heard of such a feature in all the books I've read. She explains how the slope of the staircase is a bit more than 15 degrees at first, but then it gets steeper, continuing for around 80 metres. The steps are short and very slippery, and there is also a strong smell of dampness. Although called a Roman well by the guide, she said it looked very different to the Roman wells she's seen in Italy, Spain and even Egypt. The interpretation isn't discounted, but Gigal was unconvinced and thought that it felt more like an entrance into an underground network. And, to quote her, she said, "An idea confirmed when I saw two typical vertical shafts further on." She ponders the idea that it could be the entry into a new Serapeum type structure, and if you continue a straight line going in the same direction as the staircase, you come to the sacred city of Sais. That seems to be the orientation of the structure. The article I read is now 12 years old, and I've struggled to find any more information. I also wanted to know exactly where it was, as there was no map on the website, on any YouTube video or Facebook post. So I turned my attention to Google Maps. Surely I'd be able to find a huge slice into the limestone bedrock. Well, it wasn't as easy as it sounds, but after scouring the landscape I did find it. For those planning a trip to Egypt, if you can get permission to visit this site, I'd be very interested to see what you find. To find it on Google Maps, search for Dome International School, and it is located just to the south. It is almost directly north of the so-called unfinished or destroyed pyramid of Abu Ruwash. This part of Egypt is also very ancient, as well as what we are told is the 4th dynasty pyramid of Djedefre. Although many disagree on its age, or even if it was ever a true pyramid, there are also many 1st dynasty burials located 1.5 kilometers to the northeast, and these include a group of mastaba tombs with mud brick walls that contain the famous palace facade style of decoration. The oldest examples of funerary boats in Egypt are also found at this location. There are even more burials in the region, some of them date to the 4th, 5th and 6th dynasties, but as is so often the case for curiosities, there seems to be very little information about the staircase. Could it be a later structure, a Roman well, just as the tour guide said? I guess it is certainly feasible, but without an archaeological paper, without knowing what the excavators found, the staircase could be interpreted a number of ways. Looking at the area on a large scale, and there looks to be a number of shafts around it, which says to me that it is likely a burial complex. Maybe Gigal is right, and the staircase does link to an underground system of burials. If so, I think the staircase was simply how the people got down into and out of the bedrock whilst digging out the main burial shafts. And that's also why it was covered over with stone blocks, to conceal it when all the preparation work was done. You can see that the staircase leads directly to one shaft in particular, so maybe this was the first or most important burial on the site. How old it is, I don't know, because we know that the ancient Egyptians were in this region since the 1st dynasty all the way up to the late period. The Greeks and the Romans were also at Giza, we know that, so they could well have been at Abu Ruwash as well. The staircase could well be ancient, but it could also be from the late period. At this stage I just can't find out. If you can find any further information on this staircase, and this part of Abu Ruwash as a whole, please do let me know and leave a comment below, and I can make a follow-up video on this truly enigmatic structure. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Ancient Architects. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel, please like the video, and please leave a comment below. Thank you very much.